from clarkwoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 177. I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve, and this is Fireside Chats.
Fireside Chats with Chris.
It actually,
and Steve.
I don't know if it's the TV putting off warmth, but it actually feels like there's
It does feel a little warm. It feels warmer.
And,
It's because of all the love in your heart,
it might
Steve.
be because the heat's behind there. But...
Is there?
No, it's actually behind the couch, so...
Well, it's
that's crackling a bit much.
It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind of the beholder, in the behind of the mind holder.
It's the eye of the beholder.
It's the eye of the tiger, is what I heard.
It's the thrill of the fight.
Yeah, getting pounded by Dolph Lundgren. I don't know. Wait, is that the one where he gets pounded by Dolph Lundgren, or is that the one where he pounds Dolph Lundgren?
Those are the same movie.
They're the same movie. Okay, well. Okay.
It's the rye or the Kaiser or the wheat or the white.
Is that Weird Al?
It's Weird Al, yeah. It was like the theme from Rocky.
See, I'm there are gaps in my Weird Al knowledge.
That was from his second album.
Oh, okay.
In 3D.
In 3D, which I think is technically in my Apple Music library, but I have not listened to it yet. I added it to be listened to at a later date. Maybe that date is coming up when I finally get some time off. I don't know.
Yeah, get some time off. Just like listen to his
whole
catalog,
his whole catalog. Yeah,
I think he just came out with a box set that's like shaped like an accordion or something like that.
That's a rather clever marketing ploy.
Yeah, so you can buy, and I think there's CDs.
Does it work?
I don't think so.
Are there 2 CDs?
He wants an accordion, maybe someday.
I wanted to see, he was doing a tour, I don't know if he's still doing it, where he was doing nothing but his originals or something like that. He was not doing the parodies.
Yeah, I think we very recently talked about this on the show.
We did, yeah. But I think that would have been good. I think he has some chops.
I don't believe he's gotten to Boston on his tour yet, so you probably could still.
I think he's doing a stop in Portsmouth for sure. I don't know.
Portsmouth?
Yeah,
at
he's
the
at the
theater that you did.
Hall. Yeah.
Is that the one where you did your I Could Just Diary? Or
no, I did Diary at the Rep. The music hall is like a nice old theater.
A larger venue?
Yeah. That's where, if somebody's doing an indoor concert, that tends to be in Portsmouth, that tends to be where they go. Outdoor concerts tend to be over at the park.
Sorry, I was distracted. I was trying to get rid of that controller so I don't accidentally turn off our light source.
Yeah, no, we don't do that because we should say we've got the crackling fireplace on the TV, and we got a candle over there, just one candle. Even though it's what day of Hanukkah?
I don't know, like
5, 6.
I'm not Jewish.
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm not really a very good Christian. In fact, I'm not one.
Yeah, no, let's not go down that path. That path leads to.
But I'm just saying that despite being people that celebrate Christmas,
right,
we're not necessarily Christians.
No. I mean, we're pagans. You know, the Christians stole our fucking holiday. I'm just,
It's like we're like this is a
we're
crazy injustice that we're like. People we used to sit out in the woods and fucking light a fire.
Yeah, because it was fucking cold out. It got dark, and we were like,
we would sing songs like "Baby, It's Cold Outside."
We would, and it would be about female empowerment and not about date rape.
Is that what they're trying to?
That is the currently out there attempt to take that song back. Is to talk about how the original intent was that this song was written and originally performed and produced at a time when women were expected to not hang out and not kind of be in control of their own social life. So the woman in the song is theoretically saying, "Oh wow, this drink is strong. Maybe I need to hang out." And in so doing is gaining more authority over the way that she spends her time.
Okay. But in 2017...
I'm not saying that that's the correct interpretation. I'm just saying that is an interpretation that I read on somebody's Facebook page before...
Oh my God, go away from Facebook.
Before I don't know if it was Facebook or Twitter, but it was before I stopped reading anything online because of Star Wars spoilers.
Oh yeah, because you haven't seen the film.
I haven't seen the fucking movie, Steve. I have to tell you, this is...
What's going on, Chris? What's happening?
I wanted nothing more this past weekend than to see Star Wars.
Is it because you couldn't get tickets, or it's just
so it's a combination of things.
A little bit of busy.
This is very busy.
A little bit of a busy bee.
I have established a pattern of me going to see these popular movies, these popcorn movies, if you will, the Marvel movies, the DC movies. But I've established this pattern of going by myself on opening, or not opening night, but like before opening night. So like on the Thursday before it comes out. And I mentioned that this was my thought, that this was my plan, 1 weekend ago, 2 weekends ago. And my wife, who's a very loving wife, and normally doesn't protest these things, she was kind of like, I don't think it's fair that you get to go see all these movies by yourself, and I don't ever get to see them. I think this is partially brought on by the fact that she really wanted to see Thor and still hasn't seen it, and I got to see it. But she also really wants to see Star Wars, and so she kind of, but not really, made me promise not to go see Star Wars without her. So then it got closer.
Well, I mean, it was a real dudski, so I don't imagine it'll be in the theaters for very long.
Well, so we as the weekend got closer, we would look every once in a while. We had a big family event on Saturday, and then Sunday we thought, well, we're probably going to be busy doing Christmas-related things. But maybe Sunday afternoon, and my brother was in town, so like maybe we should, or was gonna be in town, so maybe we should wait to ask him. But by the time we finally like stopped dicking around, there were no fucking seats left for any.
You could have come here. Like...
Any goddamn shows. I mean, maybe there were seats in the very front row where you'd be like staring, you know.
No, but I mean, it's not necessarily like the immersive experience, but the theater in Maynard is showing it, and we went to see it on. Technically opening night, and it was pretty full, but it was not completely full theater.
I respect the fact that movie theaters, especially the movie theaters in the more urban and suburban areas, needed to do something to put butts in the seats, and so they made bigger seats and fewer of them. And I respect that, but it just makes going to a movie without at least a week or more of planning impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about
unless
this.
it's going solo.
I was talking about this at work, and so like you can't like when we were kids, and you know, I'm gonna just say that things were better when we were younger.
I'm just gonna not argue with you.
We should make America great again. We
should make America great again.
Like it was in the mid-90s.
Oh, it was fantastic back then.
I don't know. It wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't. We had a president who was getting, you know, maybe he was getting a few too many blowjobs from somebody who wasn't his wife, but what the fuck ever.
We had a little bit of the internet. We didn't quite.
We did have a little bit of the internet.
We didn't quite have Google yet, but you were okay with that because you're not a big Google guy.
No, I'm not a big Google guy.
You were fine with.
We had Alta La Vista.
Yeah, we had Alta Vista. We had Ask Jeeves. We had search engines.
With Yahoo.
Yeah, that was around.
That. Right? I mean, you know, what the fuck ever. We had, like, Excite.
We had
Lycos.
I had Bust-A-Mail.
Yeah, we did. So, yeah, mid-90s. That's the time.
Yeah, that was the time where we needed to
This is the time to remember.
Yeah.
Because it will not last forever.
So, okay, so, like, when we were younger, like, you know, like, mid-90s.
When I was younger, so much younger than today.
So, like, when you started driving, like, that was, like... Mm-hmm. I mean, not that either of us did a whole heck of a lot of dating when we were
no.
in high school or whatever.
Well, speak for yourself, Steve. I dated the fuck out of high school. I mean, yeah.
The whole
high school. Every girl at the high school I had a date with at least once.
Every guy.
Every guy and a couple people at the tech.
Wow.
Yeah,
I branched out.
I branched out. I had dates with everybody. I mean, I'm the hottest guy in the room, Steve.
Were they cosmetologists?
Well, the people at the tech, no, it was a couple of guys from the wood shop.
Oh, wood tech rules. Do you remember Wood Tech Kid? Did that ever like get into your like
Wood Tech Kid?
There was this like Will was working at like some computer lab downstairs at the high school or whatever.
Yeah, and
he found like a whole bunch of wood shop books, and like one of them had like this little story. It was like. About this, somebody wrote about it was called Wood Tech Kid, and it's like, and it just goes along about like how this kid's dumb or whatever, and he goes, You know what? It's completely spelled wrong. I walk with wood, but I ain't no kid. Wood tech rules with a Z.
Like wood tech, like wood WOODTECH. Wood tech.
I could not like. I
wood
wish
tech rules.
like if he ever comes around again, maybe he has a copy of Wood Tech Kid rolling around, and maybe he'll email us a picture of it or something.
All right, so the mid '90s was better for movies.
For movies, because like you could go on a date, or you could get a couple of pals together.
I went to some awesome movies on dates. I went to Grumpy Old Men.
Wow.
I went to Iron Will, and I went to
what's Iron Will? I don't even remember that.
Iron Will was about sled dog racing.
What?
With I think it was Mackenzie Aston. I think it was like Sean Astin's little brother or older brother or whoever the fuck he is. And I went and saw Mixed Nuts. Now I saw Mixed Nuts.
All right, Mixed Nuts. You're gonna have to like.
Mixed Nuts had Steve Martin in it. That's pretty much all I remember. And then I had my first kiss after Mixed Nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. In the parking lot of the Route 3. Thanks, Steve Martin.
Thanks, Steve Martin, for Chris's first smoocheroo.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it was nice.
All right.
But yes, there was a better time because you could, even for a popular movie, you could probably walk in if you got there far enough ahead of time on the day.
Yeah.
And get there. But then fucking movietickets.com and Fandango and all these things, which are great, or they were great when it was like a way to make sure that you got a seat, but now it's the only way to get a fucking seat. There's no walking.
And you have to pay like a service charge,
yeah.
which I'm sure they're loving.
Oh, I'm sure they're taking all their honeys out on dates with all their service charges.
So like I remember like the first movie that we had trouble. Well, we didn't actually. You and I didn't have trouble seeing it.
We wish we had.
Yeah, we wish we had trouble seeing it. Which was episode 1 in Star Wars, and that was I remember waiting in line for tickets.
Right.
Like the line, and this was like days, or it might have been even weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And there was a line around the entire building, which was the Showcase Cinema in Lowell.
Right.
If you want to get a little bit local for you, baby. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that fucking voice was.
I don't know either.
Oh, baby, well, come get some local shit.
Get some local up in this hizzy.
We're the worst.
So is the line stretching around the showcase?
Yeah, so like I waited in line. That was like the first movie I think I waited in an extensive line to get a ticket for the show that wasn't even that day.
Right. Yeah.
I don't remember doing that for any other movie.
That was like a weird time. So that was 1999.
Yeah.
So it's a weird time where
2000 party over, oops, out of time.
Yeah. That's how we all felt after episode 1. But yeah. So that was a weird time because I think we were in between the strictly like line up and before online. I mean, maybe you could buy stuff online at that point.
I think Amazon existed. You could buy books online.
Well, I meant like movie tickets.
No, I mean, but like as far as like online purchasing.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people were comfortable with buying things online at that point.
But as we'll eventually maybe talk about, online is the way to buy anything, really.
Yeah.
Especially at this time of year. Like it's stupid.
That's what I did where I did most of my shopping. And I have a bone to pick with fucking Amazon because I paid for expedited shipping for a couple of things.
Yeah.
Including your present.
Oh, shit, dog.
And I ordered it like in the middle of the week last week. Actually, no, I think Tuesday I ordered it. And so...
You don't got the Prime
2-day ship. Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't.
Okay.
But
say you're a student.
I
splurged you can get it for like 6 months.
Fuck that. I splurged and I got the 2-day just to make sure it got here on time. But it didn't get here till today.
Right.
So what the hell do I like yell at Amazon? Say like I paid for 2-day shipping and it got here in like more than 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, did it say 2-day shipping from when available or something? You have to go look at the fine print because sometimes there's like some
But it
extra...
shipped like on Thursday.
Okay. Well, sometimes there's some extra piece of bullshit that's like, yep, ships in 2 days once it's available. And you're like, well, what does once it's available mean? And sometimes once it's available, like on...
Actually, no, I think it shipped on Wednesday, the next day. It didn't ship the
Okay.
day I ordered it, but it shipped the next day.
Weird.
So I should have gotten it on Friday.
There was something going on. Like, I was supposed to get some shit on Saturday, and then they employed some poor part-time schlub to deliver it to us on Sunday. And I briefly read some article, didn't fully get into it, about how that works and the people who they're employing to deliver stuff on Sundays in mail trucks, but they're part-time and they're paid shitty, and I don't know. It just sounds like not.
You know what's funny? Like, Becky sent me an article for me to read today, but like she sent me a text saying, I sent you an article, but she said farticle. I sent you a farticle to read.
That's what you read when you've just had a fart,
and I'm
now
like,
you got to go take a shit.
And so I did, and then I responded back, and I'm like, I read it. Did you mean to say farticle?
And what did she say?
Yes.
Oh, well, what was the farticle about?
It was just some fucking nonsense. Just trying to get myself to not freak out anymore, and
Yeah. So I don't want you to tell me anything about Star Wars, but
I'm not going to.
I have
Things happened. Porgs were not as annoying as you might think.
Okay.
That's where I'll end the spoilers.
The trouble is, so I had different friends arguing different philosophies on this on Facebook, and so at some point over the weekend I just said I need to stop going. Although for work today I had to post something to Facebook and Twitter. And then Twitter, like it just, I've been looking at I have an Apple Twitter list and a movies and comics Twitter list. And those are generally safe. Like the Apple list, nobody's talking about Star Wars. Because it's, unless there's some specific crossover into Apple world. The movies list has generally been okay up to this point, but then today, now that the weekend is over,
everybody's like, well, who cares? Everybody should have seen it by now.
Not necessarily that, but they've gotten a little bit looser about their headlines in terms of their headlines just suggesting things, right? Suggesting that like Rian Johnson would want to comment on and I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but some aspect of the movie, they're like, oh, I guess they must have addressed that because they're having Rian Johnson, the director, talk about his answer to some particular
Isn't he
question.
Ryan The Rock Johnson?
Maybe.
I don't know.
And so the headlines started to be without really spoiling anything, they were spoiling things. Now, I've said I don't really care about spoilers, but
you're not going to seek them out.
I'm not going to seek them out. And also, it seems like a certain subset of the internet has very opinionated
opinions.
Is very opinionated opinions about.
That might be the show title.
I should write that down so that I don't have to listen through the entire show because we're recording on a Monday night.
Because I had stuff to do yesterday.
Well, I had stuff to do yesterday too.
I thank you.
And as you said, my gift didn't show up till today, so the fact that we postponed it means that I got a little gift.
Yeah, now you can take it to work.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell everybody what it says on your mug?
It says, "Ask me about my book."
I figured, because I wanted to get you something that, some sort of writing related thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you just released your book.
Yep.
Missing Mr. Wingfield. It's available on clarkwoods.com, Amazon, or wherever.
IndieBound, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your books.
Yeah, go grab a copy if you haven't already.
Go to your local bookstore and say, hey, I need you to buy this for me. Order this for me. Although, at this point, probably Amazon is the only way you're going to get it, for Christmas, if you want to give it as a gift.
Yeah, if you're not concerned about getting it immediately, then go to a local bookstore, because that would be like, oh, this is an author that is getting requested. Maybe we should carry more copies.
And I'll drop a little hint right here, since we're doing this. I wasn't going to bring up the book, but on the 24th. So Christmas Eve,
Ooh,
like
Christmas
from
Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Are you doing
through,
a reading of that and 'Twas the Night Before Christmas?
No, but I should. No, Christmas Eve for like the next 4 or 5 days after that, there is a there's going to be a Kindle countdown sale on the book. So if you own a Kindle and you want to buy a Kindle version of it, it starts at a low price on Christmas Eve, stays at that low price, and then gradually goes back up to its normal price over the course.
So it's like Beat the Clock.
Beat the Clock. Yep.
Which is for those of you who are not necessarily drinkers or drinkers. Well, I guess you have to be outside of the state of Massachusetts because the stupid blue laws means you can't have drink deals for any sort of time or any sort of day. It has to be like constant.
Oh, right.
Drink deal. You can't
You can't have a happy hour, as we've talked about.
Like a happy hour. But this is like beyond happy hour. It's basically.
That's a good title.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, sorry.
So basically, it'll usually be a cheap domestic that is that starts off at a ridiculously low price and goes up by a quarter every hour.
Okay.
So this is like that.
This is like that. Yeah. So, and everybody should go out and review it.
Yes, that too.
They should, if they've read it, they should go out and review it.
I mean, if you think you were like a little bit on the side.
If you're on the fence, maybe don't. But
but if you dug the book, give it a good review.
But honestly, I think anything.
And this show, Jesus Christ,
yes, rate and review this fucking shit on iTunes.
Or how about Apple Podcasts? Because it's not
Apple.
Technically on iTunes.
I think anything at least in terms of Amazon's algorithm, if you're reviewing on Amazon, anything like 3 to 5 stars, so even something that's like right dead set in the middle, I think is better than nothing, because it's the number of reviews that makes them go, oh, enough people have read this that it bumps up slightly in the algorithm.
All right. So enough shop talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Christmas presents.
Yeah. Well, so Christmas. So I mean, you mentioned trouble with shipping. I mentioned that I think the people who get paid to deliver this stuff to us don't get paid that much. But aside from that, I think, for me, the process of ordering stuff online is way easier and way more works way more with my wife and I. We went out Christmas shopping yesterday. Once there was the decision you and I weren't going to do the show. My wife and I later in the afternoon.
At least I got you early enough that we figured it out. So
yeah.
Opened up the day.
And so my wife and I decided to go out shopping together, which rarely do we ever get to do anything together. If we did, I'd have seen Star Wars by now. So we go out shopping, and we went looking for a few things for ourselves and a few things for the kids. But by the time we got to the mall, now we stopped at 2 places before the mall. By the time we got to the mall, Stephanie was already looking just defeated by existence. And then we went into the mall, and within 10 or 15 minutes she was ready to leave. She does not like shopping. She does not like the mall in particular.
Was the mall crowded?
It was crowded. I mean, we had to park not to get local for you.
This is wicked local. Did you park in the Sears Auto parking lot? No,
but you know that lot that so the Pheasant Lane Mall is the mall we're talking about here.
In Nashua, New Hampshire. If you want to go Google Maps or MapQuest, that's a thing.
Back in the day, back in the 90s when everything was better.
Living in the 90s.
Heading for the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
There was a Newbury Comics, which was a CD store. A CD and
he wasn't saying it's CD. He's saying it sold compact discs.
They sold compact discs. And so this store...
And cassette tapes.
They did. And this store was outside of the mall. It was its own little thing, where today there is an AT&T store.
And now Newbury Comics is actually in the mall. Where another comic book store used to be.
And Newbury Comics used to be across the street, where there used to be a used record store. They just kept moving around for a number of years, and now they're in the mall. At any rate, there's a parking lot there that is basically the parking lot for that little building that used to be Newbury Comics that's now AT&T. And it's across a busy roadway busy sort of roadway in the mall parking lot from what is now Target, what used to be Lechmere. So the only parking spot the only parking spot we could get was in that lot that was near the old Newbury Comics
And Home Depot.
But no, there's just like this little lot that
I know which lot you're talking about. You don't have to explain it to me.
It's not the one down the hill. It's the little lot.
Go to your Google Maps, and then you could you pause the show and then follow along with us.
Yes.
Figure out where Chris parked and how long it took him to walk from that parking lot because there was so many people zipping by.
Yeah, just didn't want to stop for pedestrians because fuck pedestrians. At any rate, so we went shopping. We were looking for... So Stephanie, we moved our bed around over the summer, and now the bed is kind of up against the window, and we want a headboard. So we went looking for headboards, but we didn't want to pay a lot of money.
I want a headboard, but I don't want to pay a lot of money for it.
And we went looking for...
Where the fuck at the mall are you going to find a headboard?
No, that was before the mall. So
okay.
we
Did you go to Jordan's?
Before. We went to... We utilized my dad's strategy and my mom's strategy, which is to go the furthest north you're going to go and then work your way back, because Nashua is in New Hampshire. It's just over the border, folks. And we live in Massachusetts, so we would go as far into Nashua as we intended to go and then start backtracking back.
So did you go to Bernie and Phil's then?
No, we went to Ashbrook, something or other.
Where the fuck is that?
It's way the fuck up there. It's like the first thing, if you're coming
on the Daniel Webster Highway.
It's on the
Jesus Christ, are we getting local?
Yeah. At any rate, so we went there. We went to a couple different shoe places and Toys R Us looking for a couple of different things the kids were asking for. No dice there.
So you were looking for dice?
No dice. This is an expression. No dice, honey. I hear it on the
You
Astral
needed
plane.
the money. Oh, so he wasn't there?
No, he was not there. So we end up at the mall because I want to try on an Apple Watch. Because
Chris, you don't wear a watch. I've never ever seen you wear a watch.
I wore a watch to my. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, we went there because we needed to stop at Target to look for a couple things, and then I was going to try on an Apple Watch.
Oh.
No, I was going to try an Apple Watch because. And I think we've talked about the fact that I've been debating back and forth about getting a Nintendo Switch. Stephanie, my mom, they're not hip to the idea too much because they feel like the kids don't play any video games anymore. Why are we going to invest so much money? You and I have talked about this at length. It's because the video game system we have is old and they don't make games for it anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So, but at a certain point we said, you know what? Maybe instead of investing that money there, and Stephanie, I don't think had any real concept of exactly how much money we were talking about. Why don't I go and I look at something that already feeds into something I'm doing, which is I care about my fitness. So let's get a fitness tracker. The rest of my family's all going to have fitness trackers. Steph has one. The girls are. I hope they're not listening to this.
I really hope that your children never listen to this show. I don't think we've swore a lot in this particular episode, but if they're like, oh, I wonder what Daddy's up to.
Piss, cunt, motherfucker.
Wait, no. Shit, piss, cunt, cock.
Shit, piss, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, asshole, and tits. No.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Anyway, so
Carlin would be rolling in his grave.
So they're getting little fitness trackers themselves. I'm going to be the only one that doesn't have one. So I was like, well, let me look into maybe getting an Apple Watch because I'm in the Apple ecosystem. I wouldn't mind an Apple Watch, even though most of the features are not things I care about. So let me go try it on, and because I've never tried one on. So I go into the mall, go into the Apple store. Stephanie and I kind of part ways at a certain point because she's looking at I forget what. She went up to like Bath and Beyond, Bath and Body Works. And
did you get any interesting flavors of soap?
No, we didn't get anything. She went and got like at a certain point she went and got a smoothie because she was so parched and so just like flustered by being in the mall. She got a smoothie and sat down outside the Apple store.
They have a bubble tea place there now.
Yeah.
Did you get a bubble tea?
No, she's got.
You should get a bubble tea.
Might have been good for her. So she.
No, I don't know.
Oh, I should get one.
Yeah, you have some tapioca balls up in your mouth.
Anyway, at a certain point, I'm in the Apple Store, and I'm trying on the watch, and there are two sizes of Apple Watch. There's a 38 millimeter and a 42 millimeter.
Now, how many inches is that?
No comment. But they're unisex, so they're not marketed at men and women. But you can see, like, they probably created the 38 millimeter primarily for women or for people with smaller wrists, right? So I'm trying these on, and I try both of them on, and I don't know if it's because I have small wrists or what. But
you need to get one of those things that's like the thing where you just you. It's like a
hand
dick strengthener. You grab onto a dick.
Grab onto a dick and you just squeeze it.
Squeeze. It's a dick squeeze.
A dick squeeze. I've had one of those. I mean, not a dick squeeze, but the like thing with the red handles that you like.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a red handle.
Okay,
but
that's the one we had as kids.
Okay,
we had like two.
Get one of those, and then you'll have stronger wrists.
Yeah. Well, apparently I'm not good at pinball, but I have such a supple wrist.
I really don't like that song now that I like play pinball a lot, because it's like I have like the there's like a pinball pinball arcade app on my phone, and I occasionally will play a game of pinball on my phone.
Yeah.
But like when I have my headphones plugged in, like if I'm playing on the train or whatever.
Yeah. Does it play?
It plays that fucking song,
like a MIDI version of it, or
no?
Like
it's
actual...
like it's I don't know if it's like it seems like it's a cover.
Okay.
And not like the John Lennon cover from the musical version.
No, but an actual like just a cheap ass band that got the rights to do the cover, and they don't have to pay them much. And
yeah. Like when I don't want to bring up Louis C.K. too much, but when he first started doing his television show, the song that's the Louie 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 Louie, that's the theme song to his show. So he was gonna get the rights to the actual song and then play it, but then like the record company that owned it was just like asking for way too much. So what he did was he found the guy who wrote it.
Right.
Got him to record a version of the song, and he paid significantly less, and he gave money directly to the guy who wrote it, not the fucking record company.
Yep, that is the way around it. A lot of in like the aughts, it was a very popular thing, and maybe even into this decade, for people to re-record versions of their greatest hits because the record companies owned the masters or owned the original versions, and so they would re-record a new version with just enough difference from the original that it could be classified as a new recording.
Okay.
But it's always for somebody like me who and probably for a lot of people who likes certain versions of tracks, when I'd come across these, particularly, this is dumb, but Stan Bush, the guy who did Dare and I Have the Touch from the Transformers movie.
Okay.
He re-recorded his two songs at some point in the aughts, and those were the versions that you would hear on like Pandora or whatever.
I like the Mark Wahlberg version of You've Got Touch.
I've always wondered if that's like anachronistic. Like I try to figure out, like, when did Stan Bush record that song? And when is Mark Wahlberg supposedly recording his cover of that song in that movie?
It was so bad.
And that is obviously me thinking way too hard about fucking Boogie Nights. But
yeah, well, did the table just move?
Is that a Mark Wahlberg joke?
That is a you getting an erection joke.
No, so I'm in the Apple Store, and I'm trying on Apple Watches, and it turns out, as far as I can tell, that the smaller watch looks better on me, and that the bigger watch makes me look like maybe the president. You know, if the president had very small hands. And
I'm having a panic attack. I need to go back to my website.
Sorry.
Nice particles.
No, so there's a gentleman standing there who I perceive to be, now I don't have a gaydar as far as I know, but I perceive this to be a gay gentleman. And so
does he work there or not work there?
He worked there.
Okay.
He seemed to have a sense of style. Anyway, I just
not like us straight schlubs.
certain cues led me to believe this might be a gay gentleman, and so I asked his opinion. I said, "What do you think?" Because here's what happened. I texted my wife, who was sitting right outside. I said, "Can you please come in when you get here?" I didn't realize she was there at this point when I sent the text. And help me like decide.
Get rid of this gay man.
No, this is before I started talking gay man.
Possibly gay man.
Possibly gay man. I said, "Can you please come in and give me your opinion on which watch looks better on me?" And she sent back, "Do I have to?" I'm sitting outside. Like, this is at the point. This is how frustrated she was with the whole experience. So since she wasn't going to come in, I went to the next best thing, which was a man that I believed to be a fashionable gay gentleman who agreed with me that the smaller watch looked better on me.
Okay.
So at this point, we start pricing it out, and I start going, all right, so the watch is going to cost this much. The band I really want is going to cost this much. I always get Apple Care, so that's going to cost this much. And now I'm suddenly up to like this really exorbitant price for a gift for me.
Yeah.
That is just for me. And so,
for me.
So I walk out and I tell Steph this on our way back to the car. And I start thinking about the Switch again, because I go, the thing about the Switch is that it's not just a gift for me.
It's a gift for everybody.
It's a gift for everybody. And even though I might spend the same amount on the Switch and a couple of games as I would spend on a watch, I won't feel as guilty about buying the Switch and a couple of games. So I went back to start doing more research on that. Of course, now the dangerous thing is that there are fucking Star Wars spoilers on fucking YouTube too. So I'm trying just to watch some YouTube videos about the Switch and
they're like, well, this is a really cool Switch game, and such and such dies in Star Wars.
Poe Dameron fucks Kylo Ren up the ass. That doesn't happen.
That was a great scene. There wasn't a not stiff cock in the house.
I don't want you to. I kind of don't want to say this because I don't want to see your reaction. So I'm going to look over here as I say this so that I don't see your reaction.
I'll look at the flames.
One of the articles that I saw today that wasn't really a spoiler, but it was. The article title was that something to the effect
was
of...
it an article or a farticle?
The farticle title was something to the effect of the real villain of Star Wars The Last Jedi is toxic masculinity. Don't read... Now... So anyway, like, that's the shit I was seeing, so I had to stop looking at the fucking internet until maybe next weekend. But here's the thing, Steve. If we don't start booking our fucking tickets now, it's not going to be next weekend either.
When's your last day of work?
I have Friday off. Well, the college closes at noon on Friday. But I'm just going to do my work from home. Because almost nobody's going to be...
there's going to be no one at our office either. Yeah. And like this, I think there's only 3 in our group that are going to be there.
Yeah.
It'll be the inmates running the asylum.
That's always good. Anyway, so the Switch. I still haven't pulled the trigger, right? I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, well,
are they? It seems that they're actually readily available now, which is good.
Yeah,
like not like when they first came out, where they were going for at least 100 more than they actually were worth.
Yeah, and I watched some stuff. I want to run this by you real quick because I'm taking up way too much of the fucking show here.
It's
and we
fine,
got
man.
Important things to talk about.
I went to a friend's birthday party. I mean, it was fun. I met some interesting folks. There was a lot of folks there. Mm-hmm. It's my pinball friends, and I learned that they are also friends with my former roommate.
I was about to try to make a fucking Spaceballs joke.
Yeah,
what
does that make us?
Okay. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Right.
That's small world.
Yeah, that is a small world, a small pinball world. But they like had nothing to do with pinball, and like as far as I can remember, like I don't think they ever once, or well, the roommate she's married, like she met her husband.
Yeah.
At their house.
Oh, at the pinball people's house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That's a little fucked up. That's small world. I mean, that's not fucked up. I mean, it's people got to meet somebody somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a small world. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, after all, it is a small world after all.
Yeah, so hopefully, I
a
actually
small world
left
after
like
all.
a whole bunch of the coasters over their place. Like one of the
Oh,
first
nice.
times I went over, and I kept on like being like, "Hey, take one of these with you."
Yeah. Is that how did they realize that? Did like the two mutual friend, like the roommate and were they over and go, "Hey, that's my." That's my
I
friend
saw
Steve."
like her because I sort of like because like obviously when I saw her I was like, holy shit, Haley, oh crap, whatever. I didn't say her last name, whatever.
Their last name.
What are you doing here? And then
Yeah.
they're like, her husband, like I sort of remembered him, but like the face was like it was one of those things when you see you walk by somebody
Yeah.
that you recognize but you're not sure where.
Right.
That was
yes.
what I saw him first, and so I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I know that guy.
I know that guy, but where do I know him from?
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything. But when I saw her, I'm like, oh fuck! And then all the pieces
Right.
went together. And I also realized that I dated. I went on one date with one of the pinball people's sisters.
And that's okay? Like it didn't go so terribly that you're in trouble with the pinball person? Now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't go great, but
Right. But I mean, like there's a difference between not going great and going terribly.
yeah, it was. It wasn't. It didn't.
It wasn't a Matt Lauer situation.
No. It was just a overzealous Steve, and I'm not saying overzealous as in I'm
Right. No, I got it.
doing anything inappropriate. It was more of a premature text, just
okay.
like
Got it.
And I'm not a premature text as in sexual.
Yeah.
A premature text as in we just had a date and I sent you a text already.
Yeah, got it. All right. So I gotta get your Switch opinions. That's what we were gonna do, right? Or was there more about the birthday party?
No.
Okay. All right. So I watched a video last night. I'm not linking it in the show notes because we're recording this on Monday. I don't think there are going to be any show notes.
Yeah,
It's just
it'll
gonna
be like
okay,
Chris and Steve talk about shit. And
we talk about shit, and this episode's called either Very Opinionated Opinions or Beyond the Happy Hour.
okay.
I don't know.
I like both of them.
I like both of them. Now I've made myself.
Should I say one of them next week? The one we don't use?
Yes. So anyway, I watched like an 8 or 9 minute video by a guy. I think he worked at a game. I don't know why. It was just the first video.
He's an
that came
authority,
up.
man.
It's the first video that came up on the subject of like Switch buying tips. And 30 seconds in, he didn't seem like an asshole, so I kept watching. Right? Like I was like,
Then all of a sudden he's talking about how like the Jews are the problem. You're like, fuck, I completely misread this guy.
Well, anyway, so like it's really I'm looking for confirmation bias. I kind of already know what I'm. That might even be the wrong term, but I kind of already know what I want to buy. But I looked for confirmation from him, and now I'm looking for confirmation from you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I have one, and I enjoy playing it. So
my kids want the colorful one. Was their
not the gray one that I got because I couldn't get the color. Well, you
But
can buy the
that's
colorful
the thing.
Joy-Con.
Okay, so here's my strategy, right? Whichever one I can get, I get. But then one of the first things this guy mentioned was if you're going to have other people over, which within a week we would have other people over, including some kids.
You want to buy another set.
You might want to buy another set so that there's up to four controllers.
Which is what I did.
So get whichever one, and then get the red and blue ones. If I can't get the red and blue ones, if I can't get a console with red and blue, just go out and buy the red and blue.
Right.
So that makes sense so far?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I did.
All right, cool. Now, I don't think they're going to be super into Zelda.
No,
and I'm not going to be. I might eventually be, but one of the things I talked to my brother about this past weekend as I've been going back and forth is I missed the boat on 3D games. Like when the 64 came out, I didn't play enough of like that Mario 64, which I can't ever remember that's what it was called.
It's like because everything was 64.
Like I didn't play enough of that and enough of those kind of games to get familiar. So I feel like I need to acclimate myself with something that I'm going to love. And I might love Mario, but I'm so used to side-scrolling Mario that anyway. So my kids really want Mario Kart. They've never had Mario Kart on any system. They really want Mario Kart. So I feel like that's one for sure.
definitely want to get an SD card too.
Oh well, yes. That was that. The guy spent. I mean, it's like an 8-minute video. I think he spent like 2 minutes of the video talking about the SD, like all together. Like he mentioned it once for about 45 seconds. He mentions it again. And I'm like, yep, I get it, dude.
The place
like,
where you put the SD card is in a stupid place too.
It's on the back of the
so
actual...
where the kickstand is, which is flimsy as shit. And so if you're gonna ever use it, like, don't use the kickstand. Find something online to put it on.
Well, we've got a little stand that we sometimes use for Melody's iPad because hers doesn't have any way to stand up because it's got the super thick case on it. And I think a Switch would fit on there.
The problem arises that the power outlet, or the thing you plug the power in, is at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
So if you were to put
the thing we've got has a little bit of elevation.
Oh, okay. So you could possibly plug that in.
We'll have to try it, and if it doesn't work, we can get something else.
Yeah. That's why it's like, okay, I have to use this stupid kickstand while I'm on the airplane playing my Switch.
Yeah. So the SD, what size SD card did you?
It's a micro SD.
So micro, yeah. But with
I got 128.
Is that the most it can take?
No, I can take up to a terabyte.
Oh Jesus. I can't even imagine how much a terabyte micro SD card would cost.
I don't think they have them at this point.
All right. Well, in theory, it could take up.
I think they have like a 256.
Okay. Yeah.
At this point, but those are pretty pricey.
Yeah, I would.
Which is why I got the 128. Right.
And how
or 95 as it's more locally known.
Ow.
You okay?
I don't. I drank too much the other day at a family Christmas party.
Does your liver hurt?
I don't know what hurts, but like everything kind of hurts today, especially when I'm laughing. And
okay. Well, I'm sorry many times tonight.
All right. So console, extra Joy-Cons, SD card.
I doubt you. I mean, I don't think you would really need the Pro controller.
I don't think so either. I was wondering about that because but it seems like the Joy-Cons you can play pretty much anything.
You can you put them into the regular controller thingy-me-do.
Yeah, and
it's the exact same. Although the D-pad is better on the Pro controller.
Yeah. But like I bought a Pro controller for the Wii, and I can count on a hand the number of times I actually used it.
Well, I mean, some like on the Wii, there's certain games that required you to have it.
Yeah.
Like I think there was like
there was an NBA game I bought that required you
Super Nintendo ports required it, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense. So game wise, and then we can move on because we've got a very important robot or bot story to talk about.
Yes.
Have you played Mario Kart? Is it good?
Yes, I bought it for the
well, it was out for the Wii U first.
Yeah,
right?
It's one of those things that Nintendo loves doing is making me buy a game more than once.
So like I'm thinking they want that. My brother-in-law Alex has said that like they also really loved 1-2 Switch. I think that's what sold it on them. I know nobody else loves it, but my kids loved it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get them that if they had a lot of fun.
Well, my brother-in-law says he'll give us his copy.
Ooh, nice. So you don't even have to buy it.
So I don't have to buy it. That's a that's all set. I really want to try. Now you played Lego Marvel Superheroes, the first one, right? The second one is out, and I kind of want to get that because I feel like I like Lego, I like Marvel, and that might be a game that I would really like.
I'd say if you're going to get a Lego game, get Lego City Undercover.
Okay. What's that? That's just like Lego Cops or something?
Yeah, you're like a police officer going after some
but it's not
nondescript bad guy.
But it's not Captain America. It's not Groot.
Yeah, but like it's still got a decent amount of good humor, and I don't mean ice cream. Although I think there might be ice cream in it.
There might be. What the hell was the other goddamn game? Splatoon? No, not Splatoon.
Splatoon, they might have fun playing. I never played it.
They really want to have Snipper Clips is the other one.
Yeah, that is a real like I keep.
I remember seeing it one time right before the wrestling. I came over and you guys were playing
some Snipper Clips. It's fun. Like it's like for the kids and for I don't know for kids because I've never seen a kid play it.
Oh, they loved it. They played it on my brother-in-law's when he brought it.
But like it's also fun for us grown-ups too because like get together and then trying to like work together is both like simultaneously aggravating and hilarious.
Yeah. See, I feel like I feel like also in terms of trying to sell it to my family, something like Snipper Clips would and 1-2 Switch would do the job of selling it to the less video game playing parts of my family. The kids are gonna love it no matter what. They really want the Mario Kart, and then it's really just like I want to get something, and I don't know what, like maybe the Lego. Maybe eventually get. I mean, I know that Zelda takes hours and hours and hours, and people.
I mean, you don't have to do everything in the game like I did.
No, but I feel like that might be too much for me right away because I'm so out of it at this point. That's why I'm like I'm trying to find ways for me to fall in love with it. This is why I haven't bought it and why I haven't pulled the trigger is because I feel like I'm still just looking for reasons to love it, and that's why like the Lego Marvel one looks really appealing to me because I'm so obsessed with that universe that I think
all right, well maybe get that one.
Go get that. I'll get obsessed with it, and then I'll want to go out and get Mario and Zelda and
I mean, I definitely get Mario before Zelda. I think it's got a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
But like it's less. I think it's somewhat open world, but not like like Zelda is.
Yeah.
And I think it's like you collect these moons and it powers your ship, and you go on. When you get enough moons, you go on to the next world, etc. It's kind of like with stars and any other or shines or whatever fucking 3D Mario thing you have to collect to get to the next fucking area.
It seems like fun. At any rate. Thank you for your advice on that. Hopefully nobody's going to write into the show and
say, no, don't like, get a fucking Switch.
Don't get a Switch. Buy a PS17 or whatever it is. It's PS1, right?
Nintendo supported Roy Moore.
Jesus. So
they didn't actually. That was me making a joke. I want fucking Nintendo to sue us for me saying that.
You sent me a link early this week. We gotta. This will be what we wrap up on, I think, because we got about just under 10 minutes left here. You sent me a link that suggested that somebody that was not J.K. Rowling wrote a chapter for a Harry Potter book, and it
really looks legit. As far as the chapter, like pictures.
What's the book called? The book has a title too, right?
Okay, so it's Harry Potter. I'm sorry, I have to zoom in here. Harry Potter and the Portrait of What Looked Like a Large Pile of Ash.
Okay. It seems legit. It seems, she is kind of maybe running a little dry with some of her ideas. Now the publisher on this one appears to be a smaller press by the name of Botnik.
So I guess this is a robot that just predictive texts. I guess like the robot read all of the Harry Potter books, novels and then did a predictive text of a very short chapter. Known or called the Handsome One.
Chapter 13.
Chapter 13, the Handsome One. And
you're going to read a page, and I'm going to read a page.
Yeah, right? It'll be like when we were in school, you had to read a paragraph, like in reading class. The teacher wants
to get us all involved.
All right, so, okay, Chapter 13, the Handsome One. The castle grounds snarled with a wave of magical magnified wind. The sky outside was a great black ceiling, which was full of blood. The only sounds drifting from Hagrid's hut were the disdainful shrieks of his own furniture. Magic. It was something that Harry Potter thought was very good. Leathery sheets.
I was going to say, the disdainful shrieks of his own furniture might be an even better episode title.
Leathery sheets of rain lashed at Harry's ghost as he walked around the grounds towards the castle. Ron was standing there and doing a kind of frenzied tap dance. He saw Harry and immediately began to eat Hermione's family. I was sort of laughing over it.
I haven't read this yet, so you're getting my first reaction.
He saw Harry and immediately began to eat Hermione's family. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through this whole thing.
You only have a couple more lines, and then I'll take over.
Ron's Ron shirt was just as bad as Ron himself. If you two can't get... God damn it.
All right.
If you two can't clump happily, I'm going to get aggressive, confessed the reasonable Hermione.
What about Ron magic? Offered Ron. To Harry, Ron was loud, slow, and soft bird. Harry did not like to think about birds. Death Eaters are on the top of the castle, Ron bleated, quivering. Ron was going to be spiders. He just was. He wasn't proud of that, but it was going to be hard to not have spiders all over his body after all is said and done. Am I going to read the whole page? Or?
Try.
Okay. Look, said Hermione. Obviously, there are loads of Death Eaters in the castle. Let's listen in on their meetings. The three complete friends zapped onto the landing outside the door to the castle roof. They almost legged it, but witches are not climbing. Ron looked at the doorknob and then looked at Hermione with searing pain. I think it's closed, he noticed. Locked, said Mr. Staircase, the shabby-robed ghost. They looked at the door, screaming about how closed it was and asking it to be replaced with a small orb. The password was beef women. The password was beef women, Hermione cried. Harry, Ron, and Hermione quietly stood behind a circle of Death Eaters who looked bad. I think it's okay if you like me, said one Death Eater. Thank you very much, replied the other. The first Death Eater confidently leaned forward to plant a kiss on his cheek. Oh, well done, said the second as his friend stepped back again. All the other Death Eaters clapped politely. Then they all took a few minutes to go over their plan to get rid of Harry's magic.
Okay. Harry could tell that Voldemort was standing right behind him. He felt a great overreaction. Harry tore his eyes from his head and threw them into the forest.
Pronoun confusion. Are we talking about Harry's eyes or Voldemort's eyes?
I don't know.
Okay.
Voldemort raised his eyebrows at Harry, who could not see anything at the moment, so it must have been Harry's eyes.
It must be Harry. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Voldemort, you're a very bad and mean wizard, Harry savagely said. Hermione nodded encouragingly. The tall Death Eater was wearing a shirt that said, Hermione has forgotten how to dance, so Hermione dipped his face in mud.
All right.
Ron threw a wand at Voldemort, and everyone applauded. Ron smiled. Ron reached for his wand slowly. Ron's the handsome one, muttered Harry as he reluctantly reached for his. They cast a spell or two, and jets of green light shot out of the Death Eaters' heads. Ron flinched. Not so handsome now, thought Harry as he dipped Hermione in hot sauce. The Death Eaters were dead now, and Harry was hungrier than he had ever been.
Oh, boy. So Ron ate Hermione's family, and Harry's going to eat Hermione.
I don't know. Or maybe he was just dipping her in hot sauce. Okay, and then there's I guess there's a chapter break or something like that.
Yeah.
The Great Hall was filled with incredible moaning chandeliers and a large librarian who had decorated the sinks with books about masonry. Mountains of mice exploded. Several long pumpkins fell out of McGonagall. Dumbledore's hair scooted next to Hermione as Dumbledore arrived at school. The pig of Hufflepuff... God damn it. The pig of Hufflepuff pulsed like a large bullfrog. Dumbledore smiled at it and placed his hand on its head. You are Hagrid now.
We're the only people who matter. He's never going to get rid of us, Harry, Hermione, and Ron said in chorus. The floor of the castle seemed like a large pile of magic. The Dursleys had never been to the castle, and they were not about to come there in Harry Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash. Harry looked around and then fell down the spiral staircase for the rest of the summer. I'm Harry Potter, Harry began yelling. The dark arts better be worried, oh boy.
So that is...
That is the chapter 13, the handsome one from Harry Potter, and the portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash.
So we want to give credit where credit's due. This is
Botnik.
Botnik.org if you want to learn about this nonsense that just happened.
Now, see, there were several lines in there that might have been better episode titles than Very Opinionated Opinions and Beyond Happy Hour.
No, I think we should use... those are original thoughts.
Yes, yeah. We can't plagiarize Botnik, even though Botnik plagiarized.
Sort of.
I mean, some of those things, that's why it's so fucking funny, right?
Yeah.
It's like some of those things I've read, and I'm reading them to my daughters at night. I'm reading from the book that this is making fun of, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. I'm glad we saved it till the end, because I don't know if we had done it at the beginning, if anything else would have been like able to top it.
Yeah. So there's a little like right before Christmas present. Well, when the fuck are we going to record? Because like Christmas Eve's on Sunday.
It is on Sunday, so maybe I don't know. We gotta.
Oh no, the fire's over. That means we're done.
Yeah. So yeah, we gotta figure out some shit. But in the meantime, you can find the show notes, which aren't going to exist, except maybe I have to link to Botnik. I think I got a link to Botnik, so you can find that one note at clarkwoods.com/hot/177. And if you have anything to say about Steve's advice for giving me a Switch...
Is it playing again?
No, it's playing again.
Oh, now there's music. Fuck
oh,
this.
no. If you have any thoughts, you can email them to us at hot@clarkwoods.com, or you can tweet us. I'm at ECC1977.
And I'm at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, IS, Loser. All one word, buddy.
Oh, buddy. What are we? We got to figure that shit out.
Well, maybe we should do it on Saturday.
Maybe we should do it on Saturday. And that means I gotta work my Star Wars around that shit.
Okay.
Motherfucker. Maybe I'm not gonna see. Maybe I just won't see it
ever.
I'm never gonna see Star Wars: The Last Jedi. You heard it here first.
Fuck that.
That button doesn't work.
It doesn't?